Welcome back to LEGO Wars and the final heat of Series 2. Last time out, our current international champs Atlas put on a strong display to progress alongside the Pink Pecker Mingo, leaving just 2 spaces left to fill out. Tonight sees a welcome return to our number 2 seeds Duck, hoping to go one step better after their close grand final loss against Panic Attack. We also have our resident doggo Block Dougal return as the 15th seed, aiming to bring more giant killing performances. Let's introduce the full group tonight.
First, from California in the USA, the number 2 seed, Duck.
The 2-time tournament runners-up are back with some upgrades to the internals to fix those intermittent electrical gremlins.
From Newport, the number 15 seed, Block Dougal.
The determined doggo is back in action tonight with a refined chassis and weapon to take on the more aggressive field.
From Bournemouth, Waddle-Dee 2.
After becoming Whelan's in the last war, Waddle-Dee returns with a heavily upgraded chassis to maximise the disruption.
From Megalovania.
Armed with that devilish-looking bone bar spinner, Megalovania aims to give its opponents a bad time. We begin the action tonight with the 2nd seed's Duck taking on the destructive qualifiers Megalovania. Let's see the panels fly.
Robot ears, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Duck will start this one as the favourite, seeded second for this series, runners up in the last series of LEGO Wars. Strong performers in international competitions as well. Managing to get that beak, trying to get that beak underneath Megalovania, but Megalovania managing to flick them over using that spinner and now hitting them in the front plough. Now that plough can withstand hits from spinners, but Megalovania charging forwards and bringing that weapon in at full power and full speed, and again, and Duck is not moving here. The number 2 seeds, are they already done for, I wonder? Megalovania doing damage to itself on that attack. Megalovania caused horrendous damage in its qualifying battle, won it very convincingly. Duck now back up and running, so it was able to self-right, it was able to keep moving. Coming in for a side-on assault on Megalovania, trying to lift it up into the air. Oh, nearly had it up in the air then. The arena spikes though, spiking Duck, that's a foul thing to happen, and they can't get away from those spikes. They've been pinned in a few times now. Able to get away. Megalovania, listen to that spinner spinning. Megalovania, bits and pieces of it though flying all over the place, and they've actually taken the most damage in this fight. Duck can't seem to flip them up and over though, but has got plenty of push. Megalovania now caught by the spikes, and again being rammed into by Duck. Very good fight this. 2 very different robots. Duck of course renowned for its pushing power and its lifting and its slamming capabilities. Megalovania known for, well, destroying anything it comes against with that huge vertical spinner. It really is a dangerous weapon and could be one to watch out for in this series of LEGO Wars. Although they have got 2 seeds in this heat like everyone else did. The other seed of this heat is Block Dougal. Look forward to seeing those guys back in the next battle. Listen to the power of that spinner though. Listen to it. It's frightening. It's absolutely terrifying. Megalovania trying to get that spinner in. Oh! And look there at the top panel now of Duck. Well, I always like my Duck well shredded. I usually like it with a bit of hoisin sauce and a nice wrap as well, or a pancake. Duck about to be pancaked here, goodness me. Severe damage done to Duck. Although Megalovania's spinner has stopped spinning. Oh no, don't tell me that we've lost a weapon. Don't tell me that that spinner has stopped. One of the most terrifying weapons in LEGO Wars history has already stopped. And Duck is still mobile, so despite taking horrendous damage, they are still in this battle. Megalovania are now limping. Can Duck take advantage of this? The number 2 seeds. I wouldn't put it past them if they could. It's a very sturdy, very well driven robot. Going for the pit button. Good tactic, but the pit button is not been depressed on that occasion. They need to have another go at it. We're in the final 8 seconds, so it's not going to happen here. Oh, what a shame though for Megalovania for their spinner to stop, but I'm wondering if the damage was enough. Cease called. It is going to go to the judges. That was a good fight. Not sure what the judges are going to think of that one, to be honest. Megalovania definitely starting the stronger of the 2, using that big spinner of theirs. Look at the power, look at the hits it gave. But then Duck showing good pushing power. and good lifting capabilities, nearly had Megalovania over there. They got caught on the arena spikes a little bit. That's bad control. Then look at the damage here done by Megalovania, tearing off that top panel. That will definitely be key in this fight for sure. But then Megalovania's spinner stopped. Will that be a deciding factor? I honestly have no idea. What a fight.
And the winner, by unanimous decision, is Megalovania. With that amazing upset win for Megalovania, we shall proceed on to our next fight with the 15th seed Block Dougal taking on the rebuilt Waddle Dee 2.
Robot ears, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
So a spinner versus some stabbing spikes. Waddle Dee 2 with that big dozer. It reminds me a lot of Warhead from BattleBots, made by the famous Razor team, and already tearing bits off of Block Dougal. Block Dougal, of course, seeded 15th for this series. Huge fan favourites. Competitors in the last wars. They've competed in both international specials as well. Its face usually gets caved in, and it's taken serious damage here from Waddle Dee 2. Side panels being ripped off. Oh dear, oh dear. But the thing about Block is it never dies. It just keeps going. No matter how much damage it takes. No matter how many times it gets destroyed, it always keeps going. Oh, I think they've lost their weapon. More damage there. Look, and again, the face getting smacked in there. Oh, this is horrible. Don't tell YouTube, for God's sake. It will be banned for cruelty to animals. Oh, oh dear. The nose taken off. The face being mullered. The weaponry's gone. The tail's gone. The sides are gone. Is their hope gone? Waddle Dee 2's spinner doesn't sound too stable, but it's definitely the more effective weapon. Oh, I tell you what, Waddle Dee 2 have done great work in getting this robot ready for this series, though, haven't they? It's such a vast improvement to the last machine. This one moves, and it does damage. I look forward to seeing what else these guys can enter with later on in this series. Oh, I'm looking forward to... Oh, dear! Oh, poor Block. There's barely anything left of it. Look at it. The head's gone. The sides are gone.
Cease.
It's down the pit. Well, the fur certainly flew in that fight, as well did, well, everything else, really. The wedge gone. The sides gone. The blanket survived somehow. I'm not really sure how that happened. But look at all the damage done here to poor Block Dougal. The weaponry got torn away. Look at that. The face got smashed in. The weaponry got smashed in. Just about everything got destroyed. The face came off entirely. And then they threw themselves straight into the kennel.
With 2 damaging fights in the books, it's the horizontal spinner of Waddle Dee 2 leading the Vert Megalovania in the standings so far. The pressure will be on Duck in our next bout as they face current group leaders Waddle Dee 2. Can they restart their title challenge?
Robot ears, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Duck will be desperate to get some points here. They've only got 1 point on the board at the moment compared to Waddle Dee 2's 3 points after its KO victory over Block, and damage done there to Duck's weapon. It's flopping around lazily and one of the wheels has been torn off as well. Waddle Dee 2. They've really come back improved for this series. It looks beautiful, it's deadly, it's very scary. And it's causing horrendous damage here to Duck. Duck got well shredded earlier against Megalovania, and now their face has been torn off as well. They've lost a wheel, they've lost their face, they've lost their weapon. What else are they going to lose here? Oh dear! It's being pulled apart. They're desperately trying to release the pit, and have done. Are they confident they can get Waddle Dee 2 down the pit with some precise driving and some good precision? I think they're hoping so. But this is so far all Waddle Dee 2's fight for me. Duck, we're really going to have to dig down deep here, or we could be seeing the number 2 seeds out in the heat stages. That will be a huge surprise and a huge upset. The thing about Duck, though, is despite how much damage it's taken, the rest of the robot is very sturdy. It's a big block, it's a big brick, and it can withstand those hits, but we've seen that the wheels can easily be torn off, and I'm just wondering if those other 3 wheels will survive to the end of this fight. Will the rest of the robots survive to the end of this fight? Waddle Dee 2 definitely have come back improved and will be a certain favourite to do well in this heat now, I'm sure. A lot of teams will be in the pits terrified of that spinner of Waddle Dee 2, although I must admit, as this fight continues, Duck are showing themselves to be the more aggressive machine for certain, and are showing themselves to have much better control! Oh my goodness me, and they nearly had Waddle Dee 2 upside down then! What a comeback that would have been by Duck! And what's happened out of Waddle Dee 2? I think they've landed on a piece of Duck, which has caused them to get stuck, but Duck's lost another wheel! Duck spinning round in circles. Can they get out of their circumference zone? I'm not too sure if they can. Time sinking down, and Duck using its arm to sort of crawl along. And I think that's a victory for Duck out of nowhere. I'm honestly not sure. I think this is going to have to go to the judges. They'll be able to tell you more than I can. But Waddle Dee 2, I think, got stuck on a piece of Duck, and Duck, I think, crawled their way to a victory there. Let's find out. So, confirmation, that was a KO victory for Duck. Waddle Dee 2, though, you got a feel for them. They started so well, doing damage to Duck, tearing off one of its wheels, tearing off the weaponry, managed to tear off one of those arms as well. Well on top, and then out of nowhere, Duck manages to get underneath Waddle Dee 2, and look here, they land on that piece of debris on the arena, and their wheels were raised off the ground. They couldn't gain any purchase, and Duck, using that one arm it had, to crawl to victory.
That bizarre upset win for Duck takes them to the top of the table and in a strong place to take one of the last 2 spots through the round of 16. Let's move on to Fight 4 of the night, where the patched up Block Dougal will take on another scary spinner in Megalovania.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Oh boy, I do feel we're about to have a massacre on our hands, because Megalovania is firing at that spinner and immediately decapitating Block Dougal. Block Dougal's spikes are going to do absolutely nothing, I think, to Megalovania in this fight. It's been destroyed already. We saw the damage it took last round against Waddle Dee 2, and let's be honest, it's not going to do too well here against Megalovania, I don't think. That spinner of Megalovania is just so powerful. It's so heavy, it's so quick, and it's dangerous. And despite Block being seeded, I'll be honest, I think you'd have to be a madman to put money on Block in this fight. Because Block have already lost their head, they've already lost mobility. Well, actually, have they lost mobility? No, they're still moving. And Megalovania haven't moved for a long time here. Oh no, not another one. Not another one. We are not about to have another huge shock here. Can Megalovania get moving again? They're getting caught on bits of debris. And all of a sudden, Block looking strong. Going for the pit button. Can they hit the button? They have. But the pits panel has not lowered. But we've heard the klaxon. So, that means that is a floating panel at the moment. Can Megalovania come back and get some more big hits in now? Yes, they can. Serious damage done there. The blanket's been ripped away. Megalovania still on top in this fight. They're still mobile, although they seem to be struggling getting purchase on the arena floor. Look at the damage done to Block Dougal. The number 15 seed. The tail stuck up in the air. A bit like when a dog goes to visit the vets. That's about as far as I'm willing to go with that joke on this show. Although, Megalovania nearly pushed out the pit by Block. What a fight this is. And you've got to give credit to Block Dougal. They have not given up. They are still fighting and fighting strong. They are not one to go quietly in the night. They will not give up without a fight. Bit of Independence Day there for you. Hope there's some fans out there. Block Dougal trying to use that wedge, because let's be honest, their weapon isn't going to work anymore. Megalovania. Now, one thing I've noticed, if Block uses that wedge against Megalovania, they can't hit them with that spinner. And Megalovania really are struggling to gain any purchase here. That's a better shot though, just completely disintegrating the rear of Block Dougal. Oh dear, and more damage. But it just doesn't die. It's like Rasputin. It will not go down. What on earth? And fair play to Block Dougal here. Oh! I think there, bits of Megalovania's spinner went flying. Which means they've caused damage. We're in the final 3 seconds. Block is definitely going to get a point in this heat, although I don't think it's going to get a W here. What a fight, though. And what a performance. Well, that was about as crazy as could be expected. Off came an ear straight away. Then the face got smashed in. Weaponry gone. Let's see what else could be taken off of this machine. More of the weaponry there. Megalovania, though, did get stuck on some bits of debris and did stop for a long time. That will count against it, but then they came back strongly, tearing apart the blanket. Nearly got pitted, though. Fair play to Block Dougal for hanging on in there, despite all the damage caused.
And the winner by unanimous decision is Megalovania. Despite another panel-ripping display, Megalovania only picks up 2 points for that judge's decision, leaving the group wide open heading into the final 2 fights of the heats. Our penultimate fight is up next between the 2nd seed's Duck and the repaired 15th seed Block Dougal, knowing only a knockout will give the doggo any chance of progressing tonight.
Robot ears, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
So, time for the 2 seeds to clash. Duck seeded 2, of course. They managed to get some points. They were currently on 4 points after a judge's decision loss and a very fortunate KO win in the last round against Waddle Dee 2. A lot of people were upset about that one. I was more shocked and surprised, to be honest, and I found it very, very funny. Block managed to get a point surviving to the judges against Megalovania in the last fight, so fair play to them there. Can they get another victory here and get some more points? There is a bit of everything to play for in this fight. I think Block don't really have a chance, but if Duck can get a KO win here, it will guarantee them and solidify a spot in the top 16 for them. Although they got caught on a bit of Block there. Is Block okay? That weaponry is slowing down, but they seem to be okay. They seem to stop there for a minute. Oh, what a push! Big heave-o there. And Block managed to use good strength and control to keep Duck at bay. Duck, the number 2 seeds, being honest, it's not been the most impressive of performances by them. We were expecting a lot more from the number 2 seeds. Their second favourite to win the series, don't forget, with a scene like that. Ow! And using the lifter to tear away one of the side panels and the blanket of Block Dougal. Oh, poor Block Dougal. One day that robot will have a fight and make it out of the arena in one piece, but today is not that day. The Duck team will be happy with this performance here. They're definitely performing well. This is probably their best performance so far this heat. After taking serious damage, goodness me, how did Block survive that? I've heard of walking on water, but that's ridiculous. That's defying the laws of gravity. Oh, and now they're trying to push Duck into the pit. How on earth are they doing this? Goodness me, off comes another panel now. This is complete madness. Who on earth could have predicted this would happen? Oh dear, Duck now getting underneath Block again, trying to flick it over, but not managing to on that attempt. Oh dear, and now it's been high-centered on that blanket, but getting away. Not often that the blanket is a problem for a dog, actually, but there it was. But they are okay now. Duck, though, with the superior pushing power, pushing back against Block. Ooh, circling around the pit there. That was a bit risky. And again, and Duck gets them down the pit with a very well-timed push. That was a great fight. But Duck have managed to get themselves another 3 points and have secured themselves a place in the top 16. Well done. Well, that fight was about as mad as you'd expect with a dog versus a duck, let's be honest. Duck was the aggressor throughout for certain, slamming Block around the arena and causing severe damage to them with their lifter, which was quite a surprise, actually. Here, I don't know how Block survived the pit there, to be honest, but they did. That was incredible, a modern miracle for sure. And then they even came back on the offensive look, nearly getting Duck down the pit there. But Duck was definitely the more aggressive and the more damaging throughout, causing even more damage and eventually getting Block down into the pit.
With Dougal in the pit, Duck secures a place in our round of 16, leaving just one space left to claim. Will it be the spinning bone of Megalovania, or will it be the horizontal disc of Weddle-Dee 2? Let's find out.
Robot ears, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
So here we are with the final heat battle of the series, and what a way to end the heat stages, putting two of the biggest, most powerful spinners this series has seen. Megalovania versus Waddle-Dee 2. Waddle-Dee 2 will be desperate for a victory here to get revenge for that unfortunate loss to Duck earlier, and they've already got a wheel off of Megalovania, look, and bits and pieces laying all over the place. Megalovania have been very effective throughout this heat, but they've had to rely on two judges' decisions. They haven't got a KO victory yet, and if Waddle-Dee 2 can get a good enough hit in here, they could get a KO victory. Everything to play for here. The winner of this battle will join Duck in the top 16, along with the likes of Atlas, Two-Headed Death Flamingo, Bricker Brother, White Hole, Panic Attack, of course. All the machines that we've seen go through so far. Who of these two will join them? Waddle-Dee 2 is unbalanced and has taken some damage. One of the wings seems to be broken thanks to Megalovania. But Megalovania has lost a wheel, and I would say has taken the most damage in this fight so far, but it's still very close, and there's still plenty of time to go. So it's anyone's ball game at the moment. Can Megalovania get in there? Oh, more damage on the Megalovania there. Waddle-Dee 2 for me seems to have the more effective spinner. They seem to be getting more hits in, although Megalovania, listen to the power of that spinner. And if they could get a decently, oh, timed hit like that one, they could do serious damage. Waddle-Dee 2's spinner is now unbalanced. Serious damage under the weapon there. This is one brutal fight here. We thought it would be. What an end to the heat stages this has been so far. Megalovania, I think, has lost another wheel though. Megalovania is slowly but surely limping here. Waddle-Dee 2 is shaking all over the place. It's shaking around like a bucking bronco almost. But they seem to be the more mobile of these two at the moment. Can they get the pit button down? They're trying to desperately. Megalovania, meanwhile, seem to have stopped completely. Are Megalovania okay? Or are they done for? Waddle-Dee 2 coming in for another attack. Megalovania, if they are out, that will be a huge shame because they looked so promising, especially after their qualifier battle against... I can't remember the robot's name now, I'm going to be 100% honest, it doesn't matter. But they were very effective in that qualifier, and in this heat they've shown potential. But I think they could be done for here. They're barely mobile at the moment. Waddle-Dee 2, despite taking damage to its weapon, has definitely shown the most mobility of these two. Has been the more aggressive, has been the more controlled, certainly. And Megalovania, meanwhile, I think, oh dear, could be going out here. And Waddle-Dee 2 could very well be securing themselves a victory. It's going to go to the judges. If it goes to the, well, it's going to go to the judges. And I think Waddle-Dee 2 might have secured this one, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh dear, one last huge hit before cease was called. And a late hit there as well. That was a bit cheeky by Waddle-Dee 2. Waddle-Dee 2 certainly starting to stronger, tearing off a wheel, causing all sorts of damage to Megalovania, but then Megalovania caused damage back. Anything you can do, I can do better, apparently. But then Waddle-Dee 2 causing more damage, but then that there was key. Waddle-Dee 2 spinner being destroyed, and again taking more damage there. This is going to be a close one for the judges. Oh dear, what a brutal fight.
And with pieces of Lego strewn around the arena floor, it's Waddle-Dee 2 who takes that final spot in the next round. Our final heat has been one of the most chaotic yet, with upsets and destruction galore as the second seeds Duck pushed through to win the group alongside the much improved Waddle-Dee 2 to complete the lineup for our knockout stages. That's all we have for tonight, but make sure to come back next week where we will reveal our bracket for the round of 16. For now though, I've been your host David of Smeg, and we'll see you in the next one.
Oh, poor block. There's barely anything left of it. Look at it. The head's gone. The sides are gone.
Cease.
It's down the pit. Fuck's sakes. Oh, David. I'll let you have that. I'll keep that in.